Coming up on Mountain News this morning, the family of a woman murdered 6 months ago in the Big Sandy describes their first holiday season without Amber Spradlin. And health officials are warning Kentuckians to be cautious during the holidays for respiratory illnesses.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning, I'm Madison Carmouche. We are coming up on 6 a.m. this morning, December 22nd, 2023, just 3 days away from that wet Christmas that we'll be getting. But let's check in with meteorologist Alexa Minton for a look at your forecast this morning.
Yeah, that's right, Madison. A lot of people are focused on that wet Christmas that is ahead. But if we look outside right now, things are looking relatively calm. In fact, this is our Pikeville Medical Center camera. We're not seeing a lot of activity. Even if we look towards Hazard out from YMT Studios themselves, there's not a lot happening. What we're going to first notice to kind of set ourselves up for that incoming rainfall is going to be a nice spike in temperatures, and you might not notice it right now. We're still settled around maybe around 34 degrees, but we've already warmed up a lot in the past couple days. If you think about all that snowfall we just got on Monday, we're working our way towards some warmer temperatures. In fact, we've added around 4 degrees in Hazard. They've added around 2 degrees in Wise, 7 degrees in Jonesville. So we're definitely going to be noticing our temperatures bumping up consistently. The other thing we're going to be focusing on is how we add in all this warmth and we add in a little bit more moisture, and what that's going to lead to is scattered shower chances. But I'll give you all a full forecast breakdown and a look at what you can expect for Christmas in just a few more moments.
Alexa, thank you. A murder 6 months ago with no arrest made has left a mourning family to spend the holidays hoping for answers. WYMT's Buddy Forbes shares how the Floyd County family is coping this Christmas.
Amber Spradlin's family looks back on the hilarious holiday stories of her teen years.
She thought all the months leading to Christmas that she was going to get her a car. And Christmas Day, though, rolls around, and her grandfather hands her a little box, and she's thinking, wow, this has got my keys in it. She opens it up, and it's one of those little cars, the Hot Wheels cars.
Because those ghosts of Christmas past are all they have left.
As she got older, it became a family tradition for us to put the tree up. So this has been really hard. I didn't put a tree up this year.
Instead of decorating the tree together this December, Spradlin's loved ones were left to decorate her grave.
And it was really hard to see her name on a plaque.
The Prestonsburg woman was murdered in June, leaving her friends, family, cats, and community waiting for justice 6 months later.
It shouldn't be that way. She shouldn't be putting flowers on my grave, not this way.
Melissa Salmon says investigators have been keeping the family informed as the lengthy process continues, leaving her helpless but hopeful that this will be the last holiday those involved in Spradlin's murder will remain free.
I don't know how their family could celebrate with them knowing what this person has done too. No one. And I hope the guilt, if any, if there is any guilt, I hope the guilt eats this person alive.
Seeing justice for Amber would be the best Christmas gift they could ever hope to receive. In Prestonsburg, Buddy Forbes, WYMT Mountain News.
Salmon says the family is receiving periodic updates and has more inside information about the investigation than they are able to share. So they are confident that justice will be served even if it is taking longer than anyone wants. With yesterday being the first day of winter, health officials continue to warn folks about the increase of respiratory illness. And with a possible Christmas meal in the coming days, there are food safety rules you need to know about. I'm about to show you some of the ways to stay safe and healthy this holiday and winter season. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention say that due to low vaccination rates, millions may get sick with COVID-19, the flu, or RSV in the coming months.
And we are seeing an increase in all of these throughout the region. RSV is extremely high. We actually have more cases of RSV here in Perry County and the Kentucky River District than I ever remember as your public health director.
According to the Kentucky Cabinet for Health and Family Services, Kentucky saw an increase in both hospital visits and admissions between the three illnesses after Thanksgiving.
All of these illnesses have same generalized symptoms. They have the respiratory symptoms. You may have coughing, you may have congestion, body aches, fever, and so on. So it's very important when you have this that you go to your medical provider and you get tested so they know exactly how you should be treated.
Lockard warns folks that respiratory illnesses are not the only viruses spreading this holiday season.
GI symptoms as well. There's some stomach bugs going around and people are experiencing that. So, you may get these viruses, these 24-hour viruses that cause vomiting, diarrhea, and so on. That's a little different than foodborne illness.
But with the number of meals served during the holidays, it is important to follow food safety guidelines to avoid foodborne illnesses.
You want to separate. You don't want to cross-contaminate your foods, have raw chicken or raw turkey with vegetables that you're preparing and so on. The key is to keep cold foods cold, to keep hot foods hot, and not let anything set out too long.
Lockard recommends refrigerating hot foods after about 60 to 90 minutes. Lockard reminds folks that if you are feeling under the weather, it is better to be safe than sorry and stay away from any gatherings and stay home. A new report shows teacher pay in Kentucky is lagging far behind inflation. The Kentucky Center for Economic Policy compiled the data. It shows when you adjust for inflation, teachers earn nearly $10,000 less than they did 15 years ago. The smallest decrease in our area was the Whitley County School District at about 19%, while the Leslie County School District had the largest, more than 30%. Kentucky will get more than $1 million from a massive Google settlement. We told you earlier this week Google agreed to pay $700 million to states and consumers to settle an antitrust lawsuit. The Justice Department and dozens of states accused the company of abusing its dominance in online search. Attorney General Daniel Cameron's office says Kentucky is expected to get more than $1.1 million in the settlement. One Southern Kentucky woman has been appointed the new clerk for the Supreme Court of Kentucky. The state Supreme Court announced in a release Katie Bing is taking on the position. Bing is the fifth person to hold the title. She is succeeding Kelly Stevens, who left the position earlier this year to serve as the clerk of the U.S. Court of Appeals for the Sixth Circuit. Bing is a native of Laurel County.
Well, as we look outside right now, not a lot of activity is still happening. Things are still relatively calm, but our radar is in fact picking up a few things. In fact, let's take a look at our satellite and radar at the moment, and what we are looking at is just a little bit of cloud cover, maybe a few scattered showers popping up. Even a few flakes for our friends over in West Virginia near Beckley. What we're noticing is we've got all the right moisture and the right temperatures that you could see a few flakes this morning, but overall relatively calm skies. Our current temperatures are probably the chilliest they're going to be today. One of the chilliest on our forecast. We see a 32 right now in Hazard, 37 in Prestonsburg, 37 in Pikeville, 28 in Clintwood. And as we look towards the rest of the day, what we're going to do is we're going to take these cold temperatures. We're going to bump them up nicely. 11 o'clock will be in the 40s, but close towards 50. By the time we get towards the afternoon and evening, we'll see temperatures in the 50s to end our day nice and warm. Madison.
Alexa, thank you. And thank you for joining Mountain News this morning. More news is on the way. Coming up, we'll take a look at holiday travel this year and what Americans can expect all across the country.